7 hours and his blood is still alive.
Good evening, cultists. This is your Count, and I'm here with a quick update on what's going on here at the Midnight Movie Cult, and maybe a small discussion about some things going on. First of all, the updates, as always, at the beginning of the week, sometime Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll be able to catch up with Houses of the Dragon with Cult Leader Carter. But to let you know what's going on, not only are we doing reviews and film discussions about your favorite horror, fantasy, science fiction, anything that you would turn on in the middle of the night and there it be, but we're going to give you a bunch of other fun nostalgic things like commercial breaks and with retro commercials that fit themes. We're going to host a few movies coming up from time to time. We're also going to go on field trips to filming locations and haunted houses and fright fests, horror conventions, you name it, we're going to do it. Which kind of leads me to this. Tomorrow, I'm going to go see one of the most seminal movies, not only in my lifetime, but probably anyone who's first seen it. It was the first blockbuster. It was an amazing creature feature, the likes of which we'll never see again, in my opinion, thanks to the overwhelming likes of the use of CGI instead of practical effects. And of course, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm talking about Jaws. What this field trip entails is not a location visit. I've done that. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. I've been very lucky. I got to go and stand in the same beach Alex Kittner died on. I couldn't begin to explain to you the feeling that I got from being there. A lot of people say, I wasn't lucky enough to go to Universal when I was younger, when Jaws the Ride was still a thing, and people, say it was like being in the movie. It's being in the movie. Yeah, I guess it kind of would be, right? You get to look around and all of the set decorations and things. It looks like Martha's Vineyard, and they have the, animatronic shark that popped up out at you. Well, I didn't have an animatronic shark, but what I did have was I had to ride on a ferry to this island. And as you're coming up on it, of course, you have the boy, like at the beginning of the movie, where Chrissy gets attacked from beneath. That's the first thing you see. And it was probably one of the most stressful moments of my life, and fun at the same time. It was like being on a roller coaster, because you never got off Jaws the Ride. You were living it everywhere you looked. There was, the police station, there's City Hall, there was the hardware store, in the corner where the parade was. On this beach, here's where they found the remains of Chrissy, or here's where the Kintner boy got bit on the raft. Everywhere you looked, it was there, and it was very, it was like living in the movie almost, because it looked almost just the same. The beaches, the only way they looked different was the changing houses that looked like circus tents lined up. Those were no longer there, but of course the bridge was there. The pond was there. I'm sure I'll throw pictures up somewhere here showing me there because I'm really kind of proud of it. It was a neat trip, and one of those things that we here at the movie cult were talking about. We would have loved to document it better and taken some people on, because it's a once in a lifetime thing. I don't ever plan on going back. Not that I disliked it. It was just, it's a long ways for me. Like I said, it was like living in the movie though, because when you got off the ferry that you had to ride, there's no boats, or the only boat, no tunnel, no bridges. You have to, ride a ferry across to this island. When you get off, just like they show you in the movie in the 4th of July, the big ferry comes and lets all these wave of people off. I was in that wave of people. I got to experience that. I got to walk around the island and see things, and it looks just like I said. I've been to multiple oceans, since I was a child. That summer that I went to Martha's Vineyard, that was the 7th beach that I was on, and nothing looks like it. The water's different. The you can see to the bottom, but it's not like a Caribbean blue. It's different. It's just like you see in the movie. It's amazingly to the point where the beaches were in fact closed when we got on the island for sharks. Bruce come home, I guess. But that's not the field trip we're going on. Tomorrow I'm attending, not the IMAX version. Jaws has been re-released in IMAX. My local IMAX didn't get it. I don't understand why. Not going to hold it against them, because my local theater did get the Real D Jaws re-release. So I'm going to go attend that. I'm kind of a fan of the new Real D stuff, because instead of like things popping out at you so much like the old stereoscopic red and blue 3D glasses, the Real D stuff gives you depth. So it's like looking into a window or something. I guess that's a better way of describing it. So it's really, I kind of enjoy that. We've got a decent sized screen up here, so it's going to be a good time. I'm sure I'm going to film a little bit of stuff along the way. I know I'm not an asshole. I'm not going to film in the theater. I don't want to light my phone up and disturb everybody. And 2, don't film. Don't pirate. Come on. Pay some money. These guys work for it. Yeah, Jaws has made a lot of money. Yes, I know. But still, pay them some money. Come on. That's what keeps the theaters open. Anyway, I'm going to do that. This movie means the world to me, because it was my very first experience with horror films. I was a 5-year-old boy. It had to have been 1986, and WPGH Fox 53 was running the week. I think it was a Wednesday night 8 o'clock movie, and it was Jaws. And now Jaws was only about a decade old at that point. It had come out in 75, so 11 years. And I begged my mom and dad to watch it. And of course they were like, yeah, sure, it's a PG rated movie, no big deal. And it's on regular TV. What can go wrong? Well, I watched it. I was enamored with the shark. I was enamored with the story, everything. And by enamored, I mean terrified. That summer when I watched Jaws, 3 things happened. 1, I fell in love with sharks. To this day, I will still watch, there's a live shark there. I will still watch Shark Week, Discovery Channel. I'll tune in even when it's not Shark Week. Why? Because it's interesting to me. I love watching their incredible animals. The second thing it gave birth to was a craving for horror films, to feel like that again, to be that scared. Because let's face it, that's why we all were watching this, or at least me. That's why I watch these movies, is because I want to feel something. I want that emotional tug. I want to be afraid. I want to be happy at the end when, our hero survives, or I want to be sad when he doesn't. I want to go along on a journey, and that's why this is filmmaking and cinema in general is such a big deal for me. Never been much of a TV guy. I'm very much a film person. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds and plan on seeing hundreds upon hundreds or more and telling you guys about them. So the third thing, I did say three things. The third thing that come that summer was I learned how to shower and never again take a bath, because Jaws scared me so badly. No, people were like, oh, it hurt the beaches, and people didn't go swimming in lakes because of sharks, and fear of sharks in swimming pools. I didn't take a bath. I was afraid. I was that scared out of my mind. I love the movie. I love it now. I watched it in Martha's Vineyard on the beach, like I said. I got to experience it live firsthand, and coming up, I'm going to experience it in Real D 3D. So it's the first time it's ever been released in 3D, so it should be a good time. It definitely won't be as bad as Jaws 3D. We all know how well that was. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, and I'm excited to bring you guys along. I'm excited you guys are we're over 700 followers now. I'm excited we've grown this fast. Hopefully we'll be, twice that come October 1st, Saturday at midnight, October 1st, when the first full episode of the Midnight Movie Cult airs. You will have myself, the Count, hosting, along with a bevy of cult leaders. St. Pat will be there, Spooky Lou, Cult Leader Carter. We're going to have cooking segments. There's going to be film reviews, film discussions, laughter, jokes. Have a good time hanging out, talking about the thing we all love, which is, the midnight movies. So I'm going to cut this off here and probably jump back on the way to the theater, or out in front of the theater, one or the other, and give you a few more words. Hey everybody, we have made it here to the theater. We are going in. The last showing before on is just now pouring out. As you can see, I'm not even going to try to pretend it's nighttime. I'm going to get in here, we're going to watch this, and then I'll be back with my thoughts. Well, hey Cultus, I'm back. The movie's over. As you can see, I'm out in front of my house now. It's what you hear the dogs barking. That's not Conan, trust me, he's loud. My thoughts on the Real D 3D conversion of Jaws is pretty simple, honestly. I'm not going to go over how this is a blockbuster, because it's been done to death. Everybody knows about Jaws and knows all the things. Everybody knows about the lost footage of the Kentner boy being bit, and the guy in the pond being drug across into Chief Brody's son, and things that we'll never see. Still frames of maybe, or home movies I think are available. So I'm not going to bother wasting your time or mine wrapping this up with that. What I am going to do is talk about what I saw in the Real D 3D version real quick. For a movie, and this is the one thing I'm going to say, for a movie that was not filmed originally for 3D, Jaws is probably the greatest 3D conversion or movie meant for 3D I've ever seen in my life. I've become a fan of the Real D 3D, like I was saying earlier, because it adds depth to the picture rather than things just jumping out at the screen at you. Like Stereoscopic did. This movie, literally, I'm sure you've all seen Jaws. When you watch the scenes of people walking in the beach in the foreground and things, all of this adds scope in this with the Real D. It's really impressive. The underwater stuff too, the bubbles and things are floating out at you, and you just feel like you are literally more involved in the movie. That breaks that fourth wall down around you. You know, even though you're still sitting in the theater, I felt the same feelings I was feeling at Martha's Vineyard when I was there. Not as intense, of course, because I'm not there, but the movie is exciting. Ben Gardner's head showing up is still a big shock. There's nothing like seeing a movie like this on a big giant screen at your local theater. The movie going experience is impactful for me, and I'm sure it is for you all as well. I hope you guys got a chance to get out this weekend and see Jaws either in IMAX or Real D 3D. If you didn't, hopefully they re-release it again, and you get out there and see it, because well worth my time, well worth my money, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.